Well, good morning. Welcome to Thoughts Can Change Your Life with me, Reverend Wolak. Here each and every day, discussing life, discussing our thoughts. So today, a lot of people say, hey, my mind is heavy, my heart is heavy. I said, well, I got a way to lighten that up. And the way we lighten that up is we let go. But what do we let go of? Good question. What do we let go of? If you can reflect back into your life about an event that's got you emotionally charged. Your mother could have done something, your father could have done something, your brother could have done something, a nun in school could have done something. But if you can grasp the idea that if something negative happened and you're hanging on to that negative, the longer you go, the more thoughts come in that come attached to that event. And then the longer goes, that event in your mind grows bigger and bigger and bigger by the thousands and thousands of thoughts that become attached to it. The fears, the anxiety, all of that that's getting attached to an event that happened way, 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 way back. Now, if you can go back, which you can, and neutralize that event, not only do you neutralize the emotional charge of that instance, but of the thousands of thoughts that have become attached to it. Think about how freeing that could be. But the question, here's the thing. It's great to understand that, but you got to do it. It's like having a scale. You know those scales that are like this and they go like this? You know what I'm talking about, right? And right now, let's say the scale's like this. And so in this hand is the negative event. What you've got to be able to do is you've got to be able to find positives that came as a result of that event. And the more the positives you find, what happens is all of a sudden the scale starts to move. And when it gets in balance, this event here no longer has an emotional charge. And when it has no emotional charge, it ceases to be a factor in your life. And when it ceases to be a factor in your life, all of the associated memories and thoughts around it disappear. And you will have a feeling that is so fantastically light. What do you think about that? That's a pretty cool idea. And it works. Oh, I haven't said good morning. Good morning to Corey, to Jean, to Zach, to Delpha, Henry. Lydia's out there today. Jaideep is out there today. Who else is out there? Let me know who's out there. I love seeing your names. Oh, there's Lori. Good to see you, Lori. And Zoe. When I see your names, I get to know, whether you realize it or not, I get to know you. It's amazing. And there's Carlos Roncal. I love it. And so much, if we could simply learn how to balance events in our lives, we would be giving ourselves so much freedom because we could let go of the past. Now, here's an interesting concept. I'm not talking about just letting go of the negative past. I'm talking letting go of the positive past too. And you would say, Lee, why would I want to do that? Well, think about it. There are people I know that live in the past. They live in their memories because that's where they remember life is really good. And if they live in the memories of the past, they're not living in the now. If they're not living in the now, they're not living. Because guess what? The now is the only thing that exists. So you see why this process I'm talking about is good for both sides? So when people say, I want to live a happy life, I say, I challenge you on that. I challenge you, and I might express, live a balanced life. Bring your life into balance so that you can be fully present in each and every moment. Believe that event was so horrific. And I say back to them, that event doesn't exist today. It's a memory. All it is thoughts that are stored in your subconscious mind, and you get to choose what to do with those thoughts. That's why I teach. You are 100% responsible for the experience you have, because it's your thoughts that are creating the experience. Because not only your thoughts, because of what they associate with, create the emotions that happen when you have those thoughts. And only you can do that. Only you can create that. It's a powerful tool to be in the now. And people say, well, how do I do that? You got to remember something. Memories are thoughts of the past. The future is your imagination projecting the past into the forward. So Henry says, Reveille, I need to know. I and my wife have different beliefs. Since we live in the same house, don't you think her low energy can affect mine? And together we have a lower result? So I am so concerned. Henry, no one can affect your energy unless you allow it. Maybe your wife is in your life to challenge you to live to your highest energy, to live to your highest self, and not give a hoot about what someone else's energy is. Now, if it becomes too great a variance, like if the energy is this apart and you have things in common that you still share, it's no problem. You just keep your energy at your level. But if the energy is way, way, way apart, then you ask the question, why are we together? What do we have in common? What's the purpose of this relationship? You know, when I teach my relationship class, I teach that the purpose of relationships are to support and grow each other, to share, and to have fun. That's the reason for being in any relationship, whether it's a friendship, a work, a life partnership. Okay, now that once you've got that framework down, support, grow, share, have fun, now you create agreements within that relationship. And here's the agreement. Number one agreement in any relationship. You have to ask for what you want when you want it. So if I have an agreement with my wife, Jean, you have to ask for what you want when you want it. It means I never have to read her mind. Because if she doesn't ask me, I'm not responsible. And even if she does ask me, I have the right to still say no and give her a good reason why I'm saying no. She may ask me something that's not a high value to me. Then I'm going to say, no, I'm not going to spend my time on that. It's not a high value to me. Find another way to have that happen. That sounds cold and callous. But you know what? The most important asset you have in your life is not the amount of money in the bank, not the amount of money you invested, not the cars you have, not the house you have, none of that. It is your time. Because in this human form, while your soul may be infinite, your body and your ego are limited. And so my thing is, I want to fully experience as much of life as I can. So my time is really, really, really important to me. If I give you my time, I'm giving you the most important thing I have, the most valuable thing I have. Anytime someone gives you their time, you go, thank you, because it's the most valuable thing they can give you. Even if they're just sitting with you, listening. Oh, what a gift! What a gift. Think about this. When you're with someone, all you have to do is listen. Unless they ask for your opinion. That's a big one. Don't give people advice unless they ask for it. If they're not asking, then rest assured they don't want it. It's your ego coming into play, saying, I need to get involved. And you got to learn to say to your ego, no, you don't. They didn't ask. Keep your friggin' mouth closed. One of my biggest challenges, and I work at it every day. Well, gang, so what did we learn today? How to lighten your load. Find an event that's holding you back, balance it, you will neutralize it, and you will neutralize all of the memories and thoughts that you've shared that are stored around that. I promise you, if you do the work around that, it's extremely freeing. Hey, if you're interested in an interesting talk, yesterday I talked about the correlation between Jesus Christ Superstar, the Bible, and religious science. Could be interesting, could be controversial. My job is not to make you feel good. My job is to make you think. Until next time, create a great life and know that you are loved. If not by anybody else, I love you because I accept you just like you are. Aloha.